Shabbat Shalom, we can take our seats. It's nice to see you all. Shabbat Shalom. So this week, our Torah portion is Parshat Naso, and it comes from, well, it's in the book of Numbers, in the middle of the Torah, and the parsha begins with a discussion about, or sort of assignments, really, for some of the different families within the tribe of Levi, talking about the different roles and responsibilities that different families would have. And within the tribe of Levi, they're responsible for taking care of the Mishkan, the tent where all of the rituals for worshiping God took place. And the Kohanim facilitated the rituals, the priests who were they were one family within this tribe. And all of the other families in the tribe had different jobs connected to taking care of the Mishkan and making sure that everything was where it should be and that it was cleaned properly, and that when the Israelites moved from one place to another, that it got packed up properly and carried properly and put back together properly, because it was a portable sanctuary. So each family was essentially commanded to have a particular role. So they didn't really have a choice about their role in the Israelite community. They're born into a family. That family is the family that takes care of the menorah, and that's what you do. It's just your fate. So this week I had an opportunity to have a really interesting conversation with a group of people about the difference between fate and destiny. And I thought it could be interesting for us to think about also tonight. So before I give you thoughts, I thought I'd ask you all if you have thoughts on this question of what is the difference between fate and destiny, because sometimes we use the words interchangeably, but just like we know that in the Torah every word is there for a reason, there must be a reason that we have two different words. So what's the difference? Yeah, Len.
I think you can manifest, and destiny is destined to come anyway.
Okay, so fate is something you can manifest, and destiny is something that just happens. So one you have control of, and one you don't. Okay? Other ideas? Or would anyone argue with that?
I'm trying desperately to be a linguist here. The fate comes from Latin, right? It means that it's done, it's a deed, it's like it's a given, it's going to happen.
I'm just going to repeat it for the people online. So, yeah.
Whereas destiny is something that waits ahead and you need to fulfill it. So fate might be imposed, whereas destiny is ours to fulfill the journey we need to take.
Okay, so you've flipped it for Milan, but thinking about from a linguist perspective, that fate is something that is put upon you, and destiny is something you have a hand in.
Well,
No,
there's
a little bit of both.
Destiny is something you have to achieve for yourself, whereas fate is like, well, how's going to get there, how's going to meet you. It's like, that would be the definition.
Okay, so.
But you could become a professor, that is your destiny.
Okay.
Or a rabbi.
So fate happens to you, destiny you have some control in. So it's similar to what Alan was saying, but just swapped, but the same idea that one is something we have control over and one is something we don't. Maybe. Similar. Okay.
I think they're exactly the same thing.
Okay.
I think there are many words that say exactly the same thing, which is why we have addressers to look at many different words that say the same thing.
Okay. So maybe there isn't a difference. Maybe they're exactly the same, and we're just making a lot of the fact that the English language is varied. Okay. Other thoughts? Other ideas? Yeah, Roy?
I think, yeah, fate is determined and destiny you have control of.
Okay.
Destiny is just like a choice that has to be made, but
Okay, so we're going like into the multiverse here a little bit, right? But this idea that that fate is like event-based somehow, and that destiny is connected to choice, but that um, we might have agency in the choices and still not have control over the outcome. So destiny is maybe we partly have a say in it, but maybe it also still sort of ends up how it's going to end up. Okay? Other thoughts, other ways? If you're online and you want to type in your thoughts about fate and destiny, you're welcome to. And if you say something really profound, Noah or Aiden will read it out for us. Danny.
I think I'm not coming at this from a educated point of view, but the way that I see it is as fate, and I think it goes off of what Aziza said as well. Fate is the sort of like you have subconscious control. So a decision you make creates an event that happens, and so that's the fate. Whereas I feel like destiny is more that kind of like if it's meant to happen, it will happen. So one is like based on decisions, but you don't know what the outcome is. And sometimes it can be something beautiful or terrible, and then destiny is something that's kind of out of our control.
Okay. So we differ in the which ones we think are more in our control and which ones we think are more out of our control. But more or less, we're hearing sort of a repeating theme here, which is wonderful, that there is this sort of there are some things, there are some ways in which there is control and there are some ways in which there isn't control. And sometimes we use different language to indicate which we think it is. So we might say something is our fate or something is our destiny, and maybe we mean exactly the same thing when we say those things, but maybe we mean slightly different things when we say it. And it's really interesting because Judaism, Jewish tradition and Jewish texts give us kind of a mixed message about fate and destiny, because there are some ways in which we're taught that God is the one deciding things, that God created and God decided and God set in motion. And there are some things that we're taught are determined. So, for example, the Levites didn't have a choice about what they did with their time. It was fated for them. And yet, there are individual characters in the Torah who push beyond what is determined for them and do things that become their destiny. And actually in the book of Numbers, we hear a lot of these stories, and actually a lot of the people who sort of get a moment of narrative in the book of Numbers are Levites. And some of them are known for doing great things, and some of them are known for doing rebellious things, and some of them are known for a particular kind of leadership, but they they have they use their agency to take a little bit of control over their lives, or to sort of go beyond what was determined for them and make something more of themselves, to do something that's notable, gets put into the Torah because they did something more than what was expected. And also we have this idea with the Jewish people, right? That we talk about that we're the chosen people, that we have a unique destiny in the world, right? Some of that is put upon us by God and by history, but also we have agency to live in the world the way that we believe we're supposed to live in the world as Jewish people. Um, and and so we might have a sense of chosenness, that we were chosen for a particular reason as a people, but we also have agency in enacting our destiny. So we sort of live with kind of one foot in fate and one foot in destiny, and kind of navigating what it means to have some control and also sometimes not control over our lives, right? And how we navigate that and how we make choices around that. So I just thought it would be sort of interesting to think about that. I think right now a lot of people are questioning what it means to be part of the chosen people and the sort of pros and cons of being part of the Jewish people. This year we're feeling more heavily than maybe we have in a long time. And we might say, oh, it's our fate in every generation. People are going to pick on us, and that's our fate. But we also have a choice in how we respond, in how we live out that fate, and in how we direct our destiny as a people. And we navigate that. So I'll leave you with that. And